Hello, and welcome back to our German 1890 campaign, Blood and Iron. In the last episode, we had a couple little skirmishes. We had a decent result, but we are still vastly outnumbered with France charging in to join the war here shortly. Um, I was reminded that we have TP requirements across the map. I assumed just having them assigned would be fine, but we're going to just double check and move some of our corvettes around a little bit. Just to make sure. Another thing we're going to do is something I was thinking about today. The war is going to be won or lost in Europe. Um, we could get a win down here in the Caribbean, it'd be fine, but we are being blockaded in Northern Europe, so we need to get as much as we can back home. So that means everything that we have in the Baltic, we're going to move back to Europe, and everything we have in the Caribbean, we're going to move back to Europe. Because once we start taking negative penalties due to being blockaded and whatnot, it's going to be a real problem for us. All right, so let's save the game and go next turn and see what happens. New dive bombers. Cruise speed's going to be about the same. Range is a little bit improved. Let's look for better stats. These are pretty good stats here. So we'll go for this one, the Junkers. Yeah, we'll do a new flip plane scout, although we don't really use those. We'll go for speed and range. We damaged a U.S. battle cruiser. We lost a sub. We lost a destroyer. And we're being, well, we're blockading someone, but we're also being blockaded. I don't know what's happening here. Yeah, I don't really know. Oh, we're no longer blockaded. We're blockading. Okay, that's nice. Even if it's only for a couple of months, just getting like a little bit of a reprieve there is pretty sweet. All right, so everyone's back home in Northern Europe that needs to be there. We're going to look for some fights here, hopefully not right off the English coast. All right, well, we got a raider interception here. How good is this Nuremberg? This is the Sutton class. It's got all these 5-inch secondaries. So we'll see how that goes. Depends on what's intercepting us, really. All right, let's go up to max speed. There we go. Let's see what we got. This might just be a Corvette or something. It's kind of slow. Yeah, it's a Corvette. Show us what you've got. This thing's taking a beating. 2,000 tons. That's why it's able to take some hits and keep going. Okay, we'll take it. Just a tiny little win. Minor victory. Um, well, we're still have we have the advantage when it comes to submarines, but they're not doing a whole lot right now. We are starting to run low on funding. All right, another interception. We'll take that. Hopefully, get a nice repeat of what just happened. Oh, that's very close to us. All right, there we go. Looks like a destroyer or probably corvettes. Yeah, corvette. So no torpedoes to worry about there. Then we're going to go back to cruise and head up here to Iceland. We'll take it. These are tiny little winds, and I don't know. Our VPs are going to get adjusted, I think, when France joins the war, anyhow. Okay. Yep, we're losing subs. Oh, nice. We sank 13 enemy merchants with our raiders. That's 21 merchants in total there that month. Okay. Let's go ahead and we're going to select this one here that's going to be the longest. So we're going to go ahead and halt construction on that. That'll buy us some time. Oh boy, France has joined the war. But we knew that was going to happen. Nice, we sank 16 enemy merchants, plus 35 more with our raiders. That's 40, 51? Yeah, it's 51 merchants sank. That has to has to hurt them, right? Come on. Save. Everyone's in the war against us here. All right, I couldn't get much worse than this, huh? All right, let's. There's just been a lot of interceptions. I'd like to have a for realsy battle here. Sinking these corvettes is fun, but it's not winning the war for us. All right, go back to cruise mode and back home. You know, a decade ago, we would have taken the time to get down here and sail around and see if we could sink some merchants or something, but not with all these aircraft everywhere. Although I don't really know how effective aircraft are yet. It's only like 1931 or something, or 1932. Okay, we've got demonstrations. Let's take the chance to try to end the war now. It's going to cost us a prestige to even attempt it, but it could. This is just too much. It's overwhelming, honestly. I don't know what I'm even going to do if I get into a big battle against three nations. No common ground. Okay. Sun Trap. That's a cool name. Ugh, hit a mine. What? We sank 32 merchants this month. Nation Russia. Oh no, Russia too? Come on. It's getting to be a bit much. We've got the World War without any allies on our side here. Well, let's go. We're blockaded again. All right, this is off our coast. Uh, okay, we get just destroyers? Sure. Whatever. All right. Turn off the torpedoes. We're gonna go to squad max. And let's fire some torpedoes and see what happens. Okay, they just like matrixed the heck out of there. All right, well, let's just go home. Not really sure what happened there, but what was it? It was a light cruiser. Okay. Well, ooh, that's good. Demonstrations and disturbances are in the USA. They're dominating the Caribbean, but nothing much we can do about that. Sank another 28 merchants. And Russia will be at war with us here in just a hot minute. We're going to have to halt construction on another battleship. Let's go. All right, let's fight the battle up here. For us being outnumbered the way we are, the enemy sure doesn't want to come to grips with us. Okay, well, I guess we'll just sink your corvettes one by one. Nice. Here's Russia. So we are fighting the whole world. Just skip and throw this aircraft information. There's no way I can retain this. Like I can't. I just can't absorb it all. Uh, it's just Italy and Austria are just still just dueling in the Mediterranean there. All right. Are we ever going to have a for realsy battle? This might be it right here. Uh-oh, it's generating a lot of ships. Generating a lot of ships. Generating a lot of, there it is. Well, all right, well, let's see what we got. All right, dawn is on the way. We've got 5 groups of ships here. Light carrier. These carriers. So let's reel this in a bit. We'll go for medium cap and okay. We'll set some of this stuff here to AI control on the carriers. And same thing here, I suppose. This is just a light carrier. It's actually obsolete. But it's less for me to have to micro. Like I said, this is overwhelming. This is an overwhelming amount of forces to mess around with. All right, this is these are what, Prussians or Hessians? Okay. And then this is more CVs. So we'll go AI control. And then these are our new battleships, right? Yes, they are. Okay, so these are the 16-inch guns. So we'll go AI control until we need the ships for fighting. Okay, we got more battleships here. Rhinelands. 16-inch guns. Nice. Okay. So we'll go ahead and set that to AI control for core. And we'll leave this stuff here kind of loose for the moment until we see what we're going to run into. Okay, it looks like a battleship there. Maybe. Oops, we're going to AI control some of this stuff. All right, squad max. Squad max. AI control. Okay. And then this, we'll actually do core. So it's, again, just one less thing to have to micro. All right, we do have battleships in sight. So let's start cruising southwards with this carrier. And the same thing here. And there's another carrier around here somewhere, isn't there? Right here. So we're going to head back that way. Just get them out of the way. Oh, hang on. I see something we can do. We can launch some torps at you. All right. Fire away. And we vary the targets a little bit to get a better spread. And let's actually put that on AI control as well. All right, where is our battle cruiser or battle group? Here on the way. Well, the torpedoes weren't too bad. Put that back on AI control. Let's auto select a strike and ready them. We'll auto select a strike and ready it with this tiny little aircraft carrier and ready strike. Not sure how effective these will be, but we'll try it. All right, we're avoiding torpedoes. Wow, what the heck's going on here? Well, we took a torpedo. We'll detach it and send it home. I guess we do have this gigantic blob of ships. Sunrise will be here in 5 minutes. We just have way too much going on here as far as these ships all clustered up together. All right, let's try and make use of some of them, I guess. All right, scoring some 16-inch hits. Can't feel nice to a battle cruiser. This is a real mess here. It's all very chaotic. All right, well, we're getting hit by torpedoes. All right, we're just going to send this whole group home, I guess. All right, are we able to launch any strikes or not? Let's see here. Select ready. Yeah, it looks like we could. All right, let's target just battleships in general. And we'll do a coordinated strike, launch. Yes. There. Bada bing, bada boom. There we go. We scored one torpedo hit on a real target. It is time to maneuver our battleships because we're sailing parallel to these destroyers here. And we get hit by a torpedo anyhow. All right, we're going to send this thing. Well, it's not flooding. Okay, well, it's not flooding. So we're just going to leave it as is for a minute. Not sure. Not sure I want to be hitting all these destroyers and stuff with torpedoes, but you know, you take what you can get, I guess. All right, do we have any airstrikes inbound yet? What's going on here? What's going on here? All right, scored another hit with the 16-inch guns. So let's start pursuing a little bit here. Just saw another 16-inch hit, I think on the same ship. 14-inch hit, we'll take it. Quite nice. If we could shoot at this battle line here for a minute would be pretty nice. What's going on over here? All right, yeah, these are retreating, and they're taking their destroyer escorts with them, I assume. All right, we'll go check that out in a second. Looks like we've got airstrikes on the way. Nice 14-inch hit. Put down an enemy battleship. And we get hit by a torpedo. Which one is that? It's very confusing. Like I'm losing track. Oh, it's one of these. Okay. Um, let's detach it. And we get hit by another one. What the heck's going on here? Well, we're taking flotation damage, but at the same time, um, we're not actually flooding. So the Posen, now the Posen is flooding, which is a real problem. So we're going to go down to 6 knots and pull back. And we're going to go nose in a little bit here to try to dodge any further torpedo shenanigans. Europa's being torpedo bombed. Yeah, I'm a little bit overwhelmed here. But it looks like we may have crippled this irresistible class battleship. So we just need to keep putting shots into it, essentially. Okay. Oh, man. We are taking a lot of torpedo hits. All right, now our airstrikes are on the way. Let's try and launch some torpedoes at this irresistible class. And that is all the torpedoes we have in that group. So go home. We have a lot of destroyers that are just breaking off of like Fleet Command there. All right, they're approaching our carriers. Irresistible ate a couple of torpedoes. Let's give him some more for dinner. He looks hungry. And then we want to catch up if we can to this Magnificent there and do the same. Oh my gosh. Are we being hit by our own torpedoes here? Maybe. Tell you what, we'll just start heading home with our main group because this is too much to keep track of. Out of torpedoes. Camper Town hit by a torpedo. Let's figure out where that is. Down here? That has to be our airstrikes or something. I don't know how else we would get torpedoes all the way down there. And some more into this Magnificent class. Okay. Then we pull back, get out of there if we can. Okay. Let's fire off a round at this Australia class, just because we can. Yes, I know we're losing a lot of destroyers and whatnot, but I don't see how I have much of an option. Those torpedoes are looking pretty good on that Australia. Eh, let's auto select, ready them up, auto select, ready, and ready. Okay. Now we're just going to try to get home if we can. They're really going for our aircraft carriers. Our cap's doing okay for now. Well, we may be losing one of our battleships up here. Those are probably the aircraft carriers, but right now I think I would rather focus on their battleships. The battleships are what's providing the blockade power. As weird as it sounds. We just want to go home, really. If it'll allow us. I mean, I'd rather, as crappy as it sounds, I'd rather them sink our light cruisers than our battleships. Okay. Let's okay, at least we have some targets. Let's target these things here. We'll go for battleships as the priority. We'll auto select the strike. They're not ready. Oh, hang on. Uh, select ready. No, that's not going to work. Hang on. Okay, here we go. So we're targeting the battleships. Priority target battleship. Select ready. And launch the strike. Select ready. Launch strike. We'll select ready. Pick a different target. Launch strike. And go. And we're just going to spend the rest of the time trying to get back to port with our ships. Of course, they are pursuing, but like our battle line has been like shattered. Okay, well, one battleship going down, probably two. Maybe we can do something here. Let's if they're going to chase after us like this, then perhaps we can make them pay for it. We don't really have destroyers that are in good condition for this, but we're going to try anyhow. Okay, another battleship going down. I mean, these are our old Hessen class, which stinks, but it's better than losing something a little bit bigger, or a little bit newer, that is. Nice. Nice. Of course, we're taking a torpedo, but that thing is sinking anyway, so just a waste of ammunition for them. Nice. Lovely. Posen's being hit, but I mean, it's dead in the water. Wittelsbach. This one here. That one was also sinking. Okay. I'm just trying to get y'all home. Come on. Go, go, go. Does this thing have any torpedoes left? It does. I got to maneuver a little bit here. This thing is empty now. It's just they're kind of firing off on their own, which is fine. They're not being very accurate. Can this thing here make any better speed? It cannot. So it's probably done for. What if we fire at the Princess Royal class? Just kind of speculating on some shots there. And we'd have to get pretty close to be accurate right now. Torpedo hit there. Really all this is just trying to distract these ships a little bit here. Rhineland got hit. It's not great. Danzig. Man, we're just like getting pounded upon here. The whole goal is to just go home. It's too much to keep track of. There's too much going on here. Torpedoes are looking okay. All right, they're out of torpedoes. I'd like to try to get this one home, but it's not very likely with all these enemy ships in the area here. Trying to screen. But it's down to 3 knots. And it's on fire. And it's still flooding badly, so it's gonna go. They have a lot of aircraft carriers out, I think. Well, the good news is, the more ships I lose, the less I have to micro. I'm just trying to go home, and I'm just getting absolutely pummeled by aircraft. Come on. I have to get a torpedo hit here, right? Nothing? Nothing. They're like Neo in the Matrix. Just dodge. You're telling me I can dodge torpedoes? I'm saying when you're ready, you won't have to. Yeah, we knew that one was going to go down. Okay, well, unsuccessful attacks. Let's fire at this Australia. Nah, never mind. I can't do that. I'll go there and there, and that's about it, really. Still being bombarded, I suppose. Yeah, we're just like hugely outnumbered in the air. Go home, please, for the love of Pete. This is too much to keep track of. Hard to fight a battle like this. We hit a mine, of course, as if there couldn't be any more stuff to ruin our day. Well, I think we've lost at least 3 battleships. They're, I think they're all older classes, but you still don't want to just lose them. There we go. Now we're getting into the ports. Man, they are really good at hitting destroyers with torpedoes. Well, I don't know what's going to be the result of this one. I think we did okay. Like this should be at least, hopefully it'll be like at least an even battle. But I lost track. Like, I really did. Like, it's way too much when you're fighting this many enemies. Okay. Well, time to see what happened. We lost 3 battleships, 4 light cruisers, 6 destroyers. We sank 5 battleships and 4 destroyers. So a little bit more battleships sunk than I assumed. They had 800 aircraft involved, by the way, 833. We had 270. Like that had to be like land based for the most part. Ay caramba. Let's see here. Yep, we lost some battleships. Let's see, they had French and British. So this was a combined task force. 1922, that's a pretty new one, so that's a good one to get rid of. Campertown, 1914, not the best. Irresistible, 1919. All right, anyway. Exit the battle. I mean, we both got a piece of each other. No, we can't build any new battleships. True victory lies at sea. This is the float plane scout. The range is not as good. The speed is about the same. We'll just take this one here, whatever. Here's a torpedo bomber as a private venture. Lower speed, better range. Trade 2 maneuverability for 5 toughness. Yeah, that'll probably be fine. And we'll start working on a new fighter. Speed and range. Actually, speed and firepower. Okay. Oh, we're running out of fuel in our raiders. Okay. Jeez. Well, we're an hour in here, so we're just going to go ahead and call it here. We're at war with everybody, and we're just trying to survive. A lot of our ships are going to be laid up in repairs for a while. We sank 5 enemy battleships in exchange for 3 of our own. I mean, we still have more battleships than Britain and France combined, but we have no battle cruisers at all. And Russia tips it over into their favor, of course. So does the USA. So anyway, I guess we'll just keep fighting and look for a way out of this. I appreciate y'all for hanging out and watching this mess. I'll see you next time, and sail safe out there.